So I'm making this small little video so you can see what it is that I actually do for a living. I'm a line cook, and everything I do in life, whether it just be cooking or just anything that has to do with my hands, like doing hair or something, I always involve the Most High Spirit in my ancestors, because without them I wouldn't even be in the position that I'm in. So, quick background. Growing up was rough. I come from a dysfunctional home, and the only light in my life was my grandma, rest in peace. And ever since she passed, I've had to be the light for myself and for others, which, I'll be honest with you, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot that you have to not only be your own advocate and your own cheerleader, but you have to be you gotta be an advocate and a cheerleader for other people, because they don't know the direction to go in. So it's a lot for one person. But that's why the people that are doing it, people that do walk in that path, that's what they call chosen, because they have the stamina and the endurance and the strength to take on, that task. And it's like, I remember in the 90s growing up, I moved to the South Bronx when I was 4. I remember that I didn't want to leave. I didn't want to leave my grandma. Like, I fought my mom every step of the way because I didn't want to go. Like, the Bronx, it was something new. I'm not big on change or anything like that. And so fast forward, I've had a lot of just people in my own family just never really understood me. And even now to this day, it's a lot of people that still don't understand me, or they just look at me and just assume stuff instead of just talking to me and just asking me questions to get to know me like a regular person. I get people that just do weird shit, that just act weird around me, and then make me look like it's something wrong with me. Ain't nothing wrong with me. At the end of the day, I'm chilling over here. The purpose of me making this little video right now is so you can understand why I chose to have a career in the field of cooking and restaurant. I do plan on being like a big time chef. This is just my foot in the door. Gotta learn somewhere. You don't just wake up and be like, hey, I'm a chef. Like, no, it takes years. And I've been in the kitchen since I was 19. I've been cooking at home for as long as I remember. Once I started cooking, I think I started cooking when I was like 15, 16. Like really cooking when I was like 15, 16, because living with my mom, she didn't really care too much about food. It was more like she needed the latest designer shoe or the latest designer couch or some shit like that. It was always like materialistic things, not food, because that's not important. So there were times where I literally went hungry for a few days, but the money that I did end up having, that I got from my dad, I spent it on my sister and brother, because in my eyes, they can't fend for themselves. They can't cook at that age that they was at when all this was happening. They wasn't old enough to cook for themselves. And my mom was never really there. Like, she was there, but not really. Like, she was off doing something, and every time she came back, she always came back with a fucking boyfriend. So that was one of those. Like, she couldn't be by herself. Like, she had to be in a relationship, which pissed me off. Cause it's like, damn, like, you can't even give yourself time to heal. Like, as soon as you leave a relationship, you jump into another one. And I may be young. At the time I was young, but I wasn't stupid. So I ain't really have anyone to like look up to as far as like a positive influence. So what happened? I got dragged into the street life. I joined the gang. So before I joined the gang, I was already doing criminal activity. So by the time I joined the gang, I was already like advanced as far as mentally. Like, I was already like considered a criminal because that's how I was thinking. I already was scheming. Like, long before I even joined the gang or whatever, I was already doing my own little dirt. I joined the gang when I was like 18, but it didn't become official because that shit that I was in, I felt like it was bullshit. And then it became official around 2010. That's when I really 2012. That's when it was official that I joined, because I chilled with this nigga for like 2 years, and I was chilling with him not because he was a big homie. I chilled with him because I was genuinely cool with the nigga. Like, I really fucked with him. Like, whether I was in the gang or not, like, I showed nothing but love. And because of the fact that I showed him nothing but love, and I wasn't even trying to be around him for clout or nothing like that, the nigga blessed me in. So he blessed me in. Criminal ACG, 112 Boulevard, Westside Lolo. And my bad, y'all. And I was going hard for the set. I really was. I mean, now I'm in my 30s now, so I'm more focused on my career and wanting a family and all that. I already know, like, I already knew what I signed up for. So I already knew, like, regardless of what was going on, there was no way for me to get out. And there's only one way out, and that's 6 feet under, and I refuse. So, you know, I'm still aware of the shit that go on. I'm low key. You know, I don't really go out there like that. That don't mean like I can't handle myself, because I can. I'm always by myself. So I don't give a fuck who you are or what you think you are, but I ain't scared. You know what I'm saying? So I got the Most High behind me as my backup. He my spiritual connection and anything. Like, don't fuck with me. You fuck with me, you fucking with him. Type of shit. And that's what I was saying as far as cooking. I took cooking serious because I realized that whenever I'm in the kitchen, it keeps me out of trouble. And some people don't realize, like, little things like this, like just going to work and just cooking meals. Even now, what I'm doing, I work at like a beer hall. So it ain't like any type of fancy cooking. It's mostly like hot dogs, burgers, grilled chicken wings, you know, daily specials, you know, simple meals, whatever. But these simple meals is actually making a big difference in my life, and it's allowing me to do something positive with my time, something constructive with my time. and I'm still trying to figure out like what it is. I already know like eventually I'm going to step my game up and like go for a position at like a 5-star restaurant and do real culinary work, art, like culinary cooking, which is exactly is where I really want to be, to be honest with you. But like I said before, you gotta start from somewhere, right? Gotta learn how the line works. Like I've been in fast food for a while, for years. So this type of cooking is very different from me. Like fast food, you know me in fast food, I already know how that shit is done. So it ain't nothing new, it ain't nothing exciting. But when I do line cooking and then I'm actually cooking real food, like in a timely manner, like made to order type of shit, that's a big difference. It's a technique and it's a skill. And then you cooking for like hundreds of people. Like there be times where we'll have a rush for like 5 hours. No water breaks. And so me cooking is therapeutic. I find therapy in it. I don't mind doing this for the long term. I do end up eventually going to want my own restaurant. I already have a menu and a name. There's actually several restaurants that I already have as far as idea wise. I ain't gonna say it because I don't need nobody stealing my shit. But yeah, I have several restaurant business ventures in my journal that I'm gonna, actually have in real life. Of course, the financial aspect is what, gets in the way because it costs money. And you have to understand, I'm doing all this shit by myself. I don't really have any support like that. I have family and all that. They don't be calling me, checking up on me, see if I'm alive or whatnot. I talked to my sister twice, since I had this new phone number. The last time I called her was so she could know, like, I use her name and number for an apartment. And then after that, I haven't heard from her. So not saying, I still love my sis, but it's like, it just shows like how much you really fucking care about me. I understand I'm in my 30s, but like, damn, nobody? Not one person? And if they do call and contact me or whatever, it ain't even because it's genuine. They just want to know what the fuck I'm doing. Where I've been at, where am I? They want to know my location, like for what? It didn't matter because whether I was here or not, when I was in your face every fucking day, y'all took advantage of that shit and y'all still ignored the fuck out of me. So then when I leave and then I go posting y'all, now all of a sudden everybody concerned about where the fuck I'm at and what I'm doing with my life and how's everything going. Why y'all so concerned? I'm telling you, when I was living out in New York, even my dad, I let my dad know, but him too. When I was out there doing my thing, ain't nobody really came to see me like that. And if they did come to see me, it was like keeping tabs on me, see like what it is I'm up to and what I've been doing. And just asking a whole bunch of fucking questions, like a PO. Like I have to give you an update on everything that I fucking do. Mind you, I don't ask nobody what the fuck they be doing. Like when I hit them up, it literally be genuine. It don't be on some, I need to know what you doing, so I gotta keep tabs on you. Like, no. I don't do none of that. point of this video is because the reason why, I take cooking serious and quality of food is I grew up on food stamps. I grew up in poverty. When I was young, in the 90s, late 80s, I was born in 89. So like in the early 90s, the status that we had, growing up, it was considered middle class. But then as time went on, life in New York got more expensive. So then it got to the point where, because shit is so expensive in New York, there's no more middle class in New York. You either rich in New York or you either poor. And I keep saying this over and over and over again. If it wasn't for my great grandma buying that house, my grandparents would have had to live in housing, senior housing. All that work that they did would have meant nothing, because they still would have had to live off of the government. My great grandma was ahead of her time because she bought bonds before I was even born. And when she passed, she gave each one of her kids and grandchildren a bond with our name on it. I remember mine was like, I had two, I think. I remember I had like $2,500, I think. That was the most money I ever seen. For me at that time, yeah, that was a lot for me. I never had that much money. Like, even the money I got right now, this is the most I ever had in my whole life. And it may not be a lot to someone else that never had to struggle or always got it. It's a lot for me. And I pray for you. And no, I'm not just gonna give you anything out of it because you ain't work for this shit. I did. And I keep going off track. So the reason why I'm making this video, the sole purpose of me making this video is just to give you a background of me and like my career choice and why I go hard in cooking and why I like to eat a certain way. People think it's bougie or whatever, like I like to eat fancy. But you have to understand. The reason why I eat like that, it's not because I'm like throwing it in your face. I lived off of hot dogs. Like it got to the point where we ate hot dogs so much, we got fancy with the hot dog. We started putting butter on the hot dog bun and toasting it, getting that nice crunch. Then we took, we got tuna fish. And see, me and my grandma, we love tuna fish and crackers. And I still eat it till now. And like my favorite sandwich was a toasted Kaiser roll, buttered up toasted Kaiser roll. You gotta toast it in the broiler though. It's a different kind of crunch, right? Slap a good amount of butter on it, toast it in the broiler, and then you get your tuna fish. I like mine regular, but like man, I don't really add much. Just literally tuna fish. And slap it on a Kaiser roll. You ain't never gonna eat tuna fish ever again the same. And that was a delicacy. Like, I grew up on a poor man diet. When we ain't have enough money to buy groceries, we took whatever leftovers we had and we made a potluck. And that was the best potluck we ever ate. But we wanted the food to stretch because we knew we didn't have money like that for keep buying meals over and over and over again. My grandfather would make chicken cacciatore with rice. Like, I learned how to make meals on a budget, and that shit be hitting. People don't understand. They don't know what it's like to like be hungry and trying to make a meal out of nothing. I didn't have the luxury to go outside and buy fucking food. And if I did go outside and buy food, it was because I had enough money to do that. And it wasn't even like I bought food outside because I'm hungry. No. I would have had food in the crib, but because I have enough money, that was a treat. I treated myself to eating good food. Because, and that probably happened like once every 2 weeks. I was able to do that because you gotta think about it. $20 on a plate of food, one plate. Just one plate. You know what you can do with $20? You can buy so much shit at a supermarket for $20 and make a meal that will last you for a week. But like I said, that was a treat for me. And that's why when I cook, I like to use the finest ingredients because I know what it's like to eat bullshit fucking food. It sucks. It really does. And like, I just have certain standards of the type of food I like to eat. Like, it gets to the point where I'll figure something out. Because I can't keep buying food outside all the time. And then I live in a shelter, so it's like I have to keep buying food outside. And I'm trying to save. And it's hard to eat healthy in a shelter because all they give you is fucking expired food. Bullshit food. They don't give a fuck about health. Because if you sick and you can't go nowhere, that just benefits them. They keep taking from you. And that's why I chose a career path in the kitchen, because I know what it feels like. I know what it feels like. But that was just a little something. I got more to talk about, but right now I'm just gonna leave it here because I had to go back to the other side in the kitchen and start doing my work. I was just prepping some cheese, but I'll holler at you later, alright?